What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Dew Crew. This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, Lions Talk Live morning show, Sunday morning show edition. And you know what? We've got some news that hit across the NFL yesterday like a big shot from Mike Tyson. The Washington Commanders made a big move, and we're going to dive into that. Some alleged other teams in the NFC that are on the cusp of making moves and how this may just impact the Detroit Lions going forward. We'll get into all that. We'll get into the 5 headlines now. We'll get into whatever the Dew Crew has to say this Sunday morning, how this all comes together. Does this force the Detroit Lions to maybe be a little bit more bold, unpredictable, in what they're going to do in the offseason? We'll leave that all to debate and see what you guys have to say. Real quick, though, before we dive into all those different topics, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're making that march for 13,300 subs. We're roughly 71 subs away from that. So if you can take a free moment of time, reach on down, hit that subscribe button, I surely would be thankful. Also, if you have got nothing going on while you're watching the show and you've actually like watching the show, maybe consider hitting that thumbs up button, that like button, maybe hit all the buttons, the copy button, all of them. As you probably know, if you watch YouTube for any length of time, it helps every content creator out exponentially. We try to get every episode of Lions Talk Live between 1, 2, 3, 400 or more thumbs up or like. So help out if you are so able. All right, with all that done, said and done out of the way, we're going to make this a little bit faster show day just because I do have to get to some stuff. Let's get the show rocking and rolling and going and get the first segment going, and that is 5 headlines now. You know, one thing I did kind of forget, apologies for that. If you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, let alone the United States of America, go ahead and give me a call, shoot me a text. You see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. It can be for a new house, vacant land, commercial property, whatever it may be. Call me, text me, whatever you want to do, get a hold of me, and we'll make that happen for you. All right, well, let's get the 5 headlines going. Sorry, I almost forgot that one piece. So, NFC GM expects Jared Goff to have another MVP caliber season in 2025. This comes for us from Sideline Report, Brad Berryman with that one. And you know what? I think most of the people out there across the planet are going to say the same things. There's no reason to think that Jared Goff isn't going to have another stellar campaign. It does sound like offensive coordinator John Morton has come into this situation with the idea that he's going to try to do everything he can to actually add more to Jared Goff's plate, what he wants or expects out of him, and put him in better and better situations to succeed. In my personal opinion, I think the Lions made a wise move in adding Morton just because the familiarity with Goff, the familiarity with the players, and vice versa. The guys know what to expect out of him. We've often talked about needing time to break in new offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators or whatever new personnel you bring on the coaching staff. With both him and Kevin Shepard brought in, I do think there's going to be a learning curve. I just don't think it's going to be as steep if they were brand new people. Goff is going to have all of his weapons back unless something unforeseen happens. Probably the only real question for the offensive side of the ball is the offensive line. Is Kevin Zeitler going to come back? The Lions going to bring in some replacement parts, either the draft, free agency for that offensive line for depth or starters. Christian Mahogany, he looks like an all-world player, at least in the couple of times we saw him last year. Can he maintain that in going into a full season in the NFL as potentially a starting guard? We'll find out, but it does sound like Jared Goff is going to have a lot of opportunities. If he wants to really make a big push again in his career for the MVP, remember, he did it with the Rams. He's now done it with the Lions. I think he's going to potentially be one of the top 5 quarterbacks next year in the NFL once again. All right, what Washington Commanders trading for Deebo Samuel means for the Lions, SI.com, story by John Macron. So for those who don't know, yesterday the Washington Commanders agreed in terms to make a trade for Deebo Samuel from the San Francisco 49ers. It sounds like it's not going to be much more than a late round pick. The rumors are, the suggestions are it's going to be a 5th round pick or right around there. Deebo Samuel's, he gives the Washington Commanders some speed, some depth, some versatility at the wide receiver spot. Can play running back at times too, sort of like St. Brown. What this does for more than anything for the game is I think you're going to see this be the first domino to fall across the NFC and maybe even the NFL, that you can probably expect a lot of teams now saying, hey, it is basically an arms race. We either are going to be acquiring players or we're going to be falling behind guys. And it really comes down, I think, to the ownership for each team. We all know in Jerry's world with Dallas, he is somebody who's not afraid to buy, pull the trigger, go get things if he feels it can push his team forward. If he's looking at Philadelphia, who just won the Super Bowl, and now Washington, a rising, ascending team, what does that do to the Dallas Cowboys? I think it means he's probably going to have to be more active because Jerry does not like losing. Let's also face it. Jerry Jones is, mid-80s now, something like that. So how much time does he have left? He wants to see the Dallas Cowboys get another Super Bowl. Why do I bring this up? Because it starts forcing, I think, other trades. If Dallas now becomes a buyer, and it's suggested, we'll get during the main topic of the day, that Philadelphia is, I think you're going to see other teams take advantage of this. And if I'm in the NFC, you're probably also in the market where, man, if I want to get out the NFC, I've got to really be proactive here. We won't beat this one up to death too much right now just because, again, we'll kind of double down on it during the main topic of the day. But I do think there are going to be a lot more dominoes that are going to start falling because of moves like this and some of the other ones that we'll talk about in the main topic that are coming up in the foreseeable upcoming weeks. 5 affordable free agents Lions could target. Detroit Lions on SI. Christian Bohr with this one. So let's walk through these. Christian Bohr came up with a list of different players that the Lions probably could go after in free agency and gravely help improve the team. Again, we're talking about an arms race here. All right, the first one we're going to put on there is Azeez Uluola, linebacker edge. So he's from the Giants. Most of you guys know the Lions reportedly had interest in him last year when Hutchinson went down. He did get 7 sacks with only 22 pressures. He does have pass rush juice. There's nobody who's, I think, questioning that across the NFL. The downside is, or maybe if as Lions fans, we could say it's the upside, he is coming off a ruptured ligament in his toe in week 12, which ended his season, but not expected to impact him in any way, shape, or form the upcoming season. He is coming off an injury. Sounds like a Brad Holmes signing, if you ask me. If you're injured and potentially want a paid check, Brad Holmes is probably going to listen to you. Could he be a big upgrade for Lions, or if at the very least a rotational person of interest for Lions? That's where I'd say probably yes. Now, can you get him without breaking the bank? Yes, I think you can get him for a mid-level free agent signing. We'll see what the Lions choose to do there. Another one we're going to throw out there, according to this list and according to the author of this one, Christian Bohr, is a wide receiver, Josh Palmer. He's a bit of an intriguing fit for the Lions. He's 26 years old, receiver, he's in this second season of he's in terms for his second contract in the league. Sorry, got a little tongue-tied twisted there. He had the most production for the Los Angeles Chargers when he had 500 yards receiving in 4 seasons. Tennessee product is 6'2". We're talking about the Lions trying to get a bigger wide receiver. He's 6'2", so he's not overly big, and he's not small. And has extremely sure hands with only 4 drops in 63 targets the last couple seasons. St. Brown and Jameson Williams in place. The Lions probably are looking to either through the draft or free agency to add another sure-handed, probably bigger, faster receiver. We don't know if Tim Patrick's going to resign. If Tim Patrick can come in and come back, then it probably diminishes the need for another receiver. But Josh Palmer, he might be a player of interest there. Again, he fits a lot of the check boxes as far as run blocking, stability, the type of routes that it seems, at least in the past, that the Lions want the number 3 to run. We'll see if he can do that. All right, linebacker Dennis Gardick, a veteran player with consistent pass rush production. Gardick's status for the start of the season is uncertain due to a torn ACL. Again, we all get it. Everybody on the show, Brad Holmes likes to go after injured players. Well, you know what? Good old Dennis tore his ACL, so he is going to be injured. However, while active, he remains a difference-making defensive player for his respective teams. He has 22 total tackles with 1 interception and 3 sacks a season ago. Could he come in and be a rotational guy? I think so. But whether or not the Lions will pull the trigger on him, I'm not as certain he would be a player of interest. I do think Olaorier from the Giants would be. Offensive lineman Will Hernandez, I'm not going to talk a ton about him because we've talked about him earlier in the week. Unfortunately, his season did end due to an ACL injury. So again, paying attention to what Brad Holmes has done in the past. He wants to get guys with upside coming off injuries that he feels he can save some money on, get for lesser contracts. Hernandez does fit all those check boxes. And again, if Zeitler resigns, and nobody's probably coming in from a free agent standpoint on the offensive line. My guess is the Lions would probably stick to the draft to develop their own unless it was something kind of lower level as far as free agency. All right, cornerback of Jonathan Jones. This will be the last of the suggested ones in the story. Lions didn't bring back, if the Lions don't bring back Carlton Davis, which I hope they do, they are going to probably go on the market for signing some form of veteran cornerback. Jones, hey, nothing wrong with this guy. He does a lot of good things. He can play inside. He can play outside. He was part of 2 Super Bowl championship teams with New England. Could he be a little bit older, longer in the tooth? Yes, but again, when you look at Rakestraw, you look at Arnold, maybe you want a few more veteran players kind of around them to help grooming them, helping them learn the hurdles, etc. We all probably agree that Arnold looked pretty decent for a rookie campaign last year. Should obviously only get better next year. Now, what happens with Rakestraw? I think he probably is going to get a shot this upcoming season. But again, he's more or less going to be a rookie out there. You're going to need to nursemaid him along a little bit. All right, next to the 5 headlines. No block, no rock. Illinois receiver Pat Bryant may have been made in the lab by Lions head coach Dan Campbell. A to Z Sports by Mike Payton. We all get it. If you're a Detroit Lions receiver, Dan Campbell said, if you will not run block, if you won't get out there and put your body on someone, helmet on helmet, however you want to term it, then you're not getting on the field for the Lions. It's just not going to happen. And Dan Campbell talked yesterday about this particular receiver. And you know what? I think he's right. When you look at Pat Bryant, he looks very similar to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He does a lot of things very well, which the Lions prefer to have in their receivers. And you guys already get it. They know, the mentality they're looking for with all the receivers. Whether you're a fan of Jameson Williams or not, you probably agree the kid gets downfield. He does block. He helps teammates out. And the Lions wanted that with Tim Patrick. He does that. Wasn't an issue. He's always been in the league doing that. And St. Brown is the prototypical, I guess you could say, Detroit Lions wide receiver when it comes to that. Could this be a good move for the Lions to try to go get him? I think so, because again, if you don't keep Tim Patrick, if you don't sign somebody in free agency, at some point I think the Lions are going to pull the trigger on adding another wide receiver. You know what? Illinois receiver Pat Bryant may just be the guy the Lions go after, although I do think you'd have to move up a little bit to get him. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think you're probably going to have to pull the trigger on a trade. All right, Lions' worst nightmare could end. Super Bowl hypes, a story by DT of AP Wire. So we'll talk about this, unfortunately, a little bit more in the main topic of the day. Sorry, Sundays. There's not always the most news stories out there, most new news stories out there, but there are suggestions and rumors starting to fly around that Myles Garrett may be going to the Philadelphia Eagles. We can all say what we want. Hey, the Browns GM said they're not letting him go. You know what? Every time there's been a trade that I can remember in the NFL, what does the GM or head coach say about that player before they get traded? We're never trading him. Oh, he's a prototypical guy. He's our guy. We're not getting rid of him. I can remember the Herschel Walker trade. And I remember Dallas saying, no, he's Dallas Cowboy forever. I can remember several other trades. I mean, remember when we traded TJ Hockenson literally the week before when the rumors first started coming out. I remember I did an episode on it saying, hey, I'm hearing from my former colleagues in Detroit media that the Lions are thinking about trading TJ Hockenson. I remember a bunch of knuckleheads, threw stuff at me through the screens on this show, and people going, man, that's never going to happen. You know what? Oh, they all said the same thing. Hey, Brad Holmes says, no, we're not trading him. Well, 15 minutes later, guess what happened? So here's what I'm going to go with it. Just Myles Garrett is probably going to, in my opinion, not be a Brown next year. He is probably going to get traded, and he is probably going to help control, even though he doesn't really have all the contractual firepower to control where he goes. I think the Browns are not going to just send him to some place that, he has no chance to win. Otherwise, that's just not going to work out for anybody. But it does sound like the Philadelphia Eagles are really becoming a team of interest in the Myles Garrett sweepstakes. So if he goes there, you think about what the Washington Commanders just did. Again, we're talking about dominoes falling, the main topic of the day, and we'll be there in just a second. I really think there's going to be a arms race growing faster and faster, and I do think that's going to trickle over to the NFC North. With all that said and done, let's go ahead and get over the main topic today because I feel like we're talking about it anyways. So give me 1 second. Let me scroll up on the screen and just hit that main topic of the day button. All right, main topic of the day. The arms race is underway. We get it. Deebo Samuel is going for basically nothing on over to the Washington Commanders. Who else is the next guy to go? Who's going where and what's going to happen, and what does this do to Brad Holmes? In your opinion, do you think that Brad Holmes and the Lions really are trying to make some moves? I think they are probably kicking the tires. And why I'm going to say that? Because examine what he's done, we'll just say the last 2 seasons. When the trade deadline has come, Brad Holmes has made calls. We all get it. He's confirmed it. Dave Burkett's confirmed it. I've confirmed some for you guys that, yes, the Lions are trying to acquire players during those time periods. They've called Max Crosby. They've talked to the Browns about Myles Garrett last year. They've talked to the Washington Commanders about Montez Sweat. They talked to, I can't even remember the guy down in Carolina, his name Burns or whatever, who's now over the Giants. So we get it. Brad Holmes has tried to acquire people in the past. If you're Brad Holmes now and you're looking across what it costs to get Deebo Samuel, is that really giving up a fifth-ish round pick really going to stop you from making that move? I don't think so. We've also talked about in recent episodes the Cincinnati Bengals and Trey Hendrickson. I know I've talked about it in the past. I think that's still the play for the Lions. You could have him for a year or two, rotating him with Zadarius Smith, still able to draft in the first or second round, your edge that you're going to want to get after the quarterback. That makes the most sense to me. And again, I think it's going to be somewhere around a 4th, 5th, 6th round pick for him because as we're all seeing with most of these trades in the NFL, I get it's content creators' job to say, hey, it's going to be 29 first-round picks to get this guy. Because you know what? It helps sells, newspapers or shows or whatever. But also look at the history of the NFL. Typically, those type of deals don't happen. You can say the Herschel Walker deal, it was 15 gajillion draft picks for one guy, but that's really the asterisk for most trades. I think Myles Garrett, if he does get traded to Philly, or I guess the Green Bay Packers, another team that are rumored to really get him, I think you're probably looking at a first and some sort of mid-round pick for him. I don't think it's going to be multiple picks. I've been wrong before. I do think the Lions are going to have to pull the trigger because if Green Bay or Chicago or Minnesota really starts beefing up in a win-now type mode, you have to ask yourself, your Lions, do you want to be, in contention to win? And not saying you can't win without making a major trade, but we've already mentioned on the show, it is an arms race, and you have to get to the other team's quarterback before that quarterback can destroy your defense. You look at what the Super Bowl showed us, something that we've seen before with Tom Brady, as great as he is, when he faced the New York Giants twice, you know what? Tom Brady was scrambling for his life and didn't have all time to throw. Why? Because the Giants could get after the quarterback. You look at our own division. Just look at us last year. When we were healthy, that defense was pretty scary in Detroit. When we weren't healthy, there were a lot of times you thought the other team's quarterback was just sitting in a lawn chair drinking, lemonade or Mountain Dew and, picking us apart, forcing the Lions to blitz 6, 7 guys and leave everybody in one-on-one coverage. That's not a sustainable way to win in the NFL, and I do think the Lions have a window of opportunity, at least currently, as far as we can see the next 2 to 3 years. Lions can win. Lions can win it all, win the Super Bowl, whatever you want to say. But you also have to be able to put pressure on the other team's quarterback. Can you look at this Lions team right now and say, yes, Aiden Hutchinson is enough? Whoever we're going to draft on the, for the edge, whether it's the first, second, 33rd round or whatever, can they help out? Zadarius Smith, love the guy to death. Think he's going to be a great coach if that is what he wants to be. Do you think him, Aloquin, Muhammad, or whoever are going to be enough? If your answer is yes, then you know what? Hey, just keep building through the draft. Or do you feel like this is the first domino to fall with Deebo Samuel yesterday and with a rumor that the Philadelphia Eagles are in heavy negotiations with the Browns to try to add Myles Garrett? You start thinking about how you have to get out of the NFC if you want who you got to beat to get to the Super Bowl. My guess is Philadelphia is going to be on top of a lot of people's lists still next year. And you know what? Washington's going to be ascending. You look at the NFC North. We can all have what we want to say about the Chicago Bears. I actually think they weren't that far off last year of being, 500-ish, maybe a 9-win team. So if Ben Johnson can right the ship or whatever, if they have another good draft or whatever, could they get close to that? I do think Minnesota is going to take a step back, and I don't care who their quarterback is. It's just tough to win 14 games in a season back-to-back years. It's nearly impossible. But if they do go with their basically J.J. McCarthy as the quarterback, he's more or less a rookie. They're probably going to take a big step back. But you're also getting word that they're trying to actively upgrade multiple positions via trades, free agency, or whatever. My point with all this is, what do you say, Duke Crew? I think the Lions, you can stay the course, keep just signing a couple free agents and, trusting your draft, or maybe if it's really just going to cost you a, third, fifth, sixth, fourth round pick, whatever, try to add a couple veterans on that defense. I don't think you really got to do a whole lot with the offense, but add a couple veterans to that defense where now that defense is potentially top 5, top 3, consistently getting after the quarterback without having to send 6, 7 guys after the quarterback. I think that's probably the way to go. It doesn't matter what I want, what you guys want, because we don't run the Lions, but what would you do? This is a key offseason. I think the next 2 years, the Lions can be all in it to win it. You look around the NFC North, you look around the NFC, but you know what? The NFC is getting stronger. All right, I've rambled way too much for this one. Let's see what you guys in the Duke Crew have to say. Let me scroll to the top of the screen. Are you making a trade? Do you think Brad Holmes has to make a move? Let me know in the comment section. Say, Brad, trade or, I don't know, trade yes, trade no, whatever you want to put in there. Just let me know. Communicate it one way, shape, or form. All right, I'm scrolling to the top of the screen. Give me apparently a minute. There's a few comments here, so I'm running all the way to the top. All right, JDC, morning all, back at you. Jason, good morning, crew, and same to you, Jason. Hope the ski slopes are treating you well, my friend. Bo, good Sunday morning, Duke Crew. Made it on over. This big dog is moving in. Woo! Hey, welcome on in, I guess. I don't know. Welcome on your move, wherever you're going, I guess. Bo, hey, just have a good morning. How about that? Steve, good morning, Duke Crew. Same to you, Steve. Scuba Steve and the Scuba Patrol. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Deebo going to Washington is a major upgrade for them. I would agree. That wide receiver core, I mean, they already had Terry McLaurin, and now you add Deebo. I mean, that's a legit receiving core. The NFC is going to get harder and harder. Yes, it is. And, they're still going to be able to draft well. I thought they did a real good job. Now, you look at Washington, too. We all know prior to last season, they did scalp or sign a lot of different Detroit front office people over. Do you see some consistency with what they're doing in the draft and what we've done in the past couple drafts with Brad Holmes? I think there's a reason why the Washington Commanders shot up so much last year. They did very much use a lot of Lions personnel to help aid them in rebuilding that team. All right, JDC, let the NFL war games continue. 100% there. And I think it's going to be an exciting time if you're a Lions fan, NFL fan. Maybe that's a better way to put it. This next month, leading into the draft or in free agency, I think you're going to see just a ton of moves go down because once the dominoes start falling, a lot of people worried about their jobs. Let's be honest. This is a career for most of them in the front offices, whatever. They have to make business choices. And sometimes that means emotionally based choices. And I don't think Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell are under any kind of pressure or stress from Sheila. That's just not her way of being. But I do think you're going to see some people on other teams say, man, I got to get wins here or I'm out of here. All right, Steve, with the cap space that Washington has, I fully expect upgrades. Yeah, I think they're going to make a few more for sure. Jess, greetings and salutations, Duke Crew. Amen. JDC, Washington fired that first shot. I bet there will be other moves that now go down in response. Agreed. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Michigan Panther Pride, good morning, Coach Dan and the world famous Duke Crew. Woo! And back at you. Hopefully you're getting ready for your show. Dale, greetings and salutations, Team Duke Crew. Holmes will stay true to the course, in my opinion. Calculated spending. It does seem his mantra. I just wonder if maybe if you can get some of these price tags to come down, because Debo's price tag, suggested that it's going to be a 5th-round pick. If that holds water, I think every team is going to use that kind of the baseline, at least for wide receiver, offensive weapons, maybe some defensive side players. I think that's going to push the price tag down a little bit more because everybody's going to say, well, see what they got for him. We're not overspending here. All right, bird time. Good morning, Coach Dan. Hope Lions make a splash to keep up with the other teams in the NFC. Thanks for all the updates. Go Lions. Woo! Hey, good to see you as always, Bergs. Always fun to have you in the channel. Dale, Debo for just a 5th was surprising for sure. It is. As long as that holds water, I don't think it's going to change. But as long as that's going to be the asking price again, if you're looking around the league, you're going to see some price tags or at least rumored price tags for people to probably adjust to that. Clark, I doubt Holmes will feel any pressure to pull that trigger. Sheila seems pretty hands-off. Yeah, I would agree with that. We do need to improve the D or we are burnt toast. Hey, it is the morning. Who doesn't like toast, right? And I know Jen loves it. I would agree with you that I think the Lions free agency, draft, I'm going to guess 90% of all that is going to be spent on the defensive side of the ball. Good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke crew. Exclamation point. What a team. What a podcast. Thank you for that. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! Go Lions. And back at you. Silver, good morning, Coach and everyone. And agreed. Bird time. Good morning, JDC. Lions pride. Woo! Roar restored. I think it is. Indeed. Eddie, Dale, 5th rounder, but his contract demands are what teams don't want. Good morning, all. Yeah, the contract is probably one of the bigger contributing factors, like it will be with any veteran player, because you're not getting him more than likely on that rookie deal. So you got to have the free money cap space in order to fit that person on your books. Bird time. Good morning, Silver. JK, Howie taking Garrett part. Eesh. Okay. All right. We'll go with that. Yeah, and Garrett, it sounds like he's going to go to Philly. I mean, you never know until it happens, but it does sound like the Philadelphia Eagles, man, they get him and add him to that list. Wow, that pass rush is going to be pretty nice. Dale, Big Eddie, great point on that, my friend, 100%. JDC, woo, Lions fanatic bird time, said JDC. Wayne, good morning, my friend. How in the heck does Philly keep being able to afford these players? It's a great question, man, but give their front office a lot of credit. That's what they do. They find a way. We can all say the salary cap is real. We can all say that, it's a encumbersome thing for a lot of different teams. But there's also the part where, hey, teams figure it out. Teams find a way. And at the end of the day, that's all you can do is find a way. And the Lions, I think they've got the brain power to make it happen if that's what they want to do. Silver, Lions will stick to their philosophy, Madden video game style, through the draft and always trying to slip through the cracks. I'll go with that, man. Yeah, good thinking there, Silver. Trey, what is happening, everybody? Question mark. I think the Debo trade is just the first of many to go down before the draft. Don't be surprised if Holmes did something mid-level. Yeah, I would say, in my view, that seems more Brad Holmes style than giving up, a gajillion first-round picks or second-round picks for somebody. I could see us making those type of trades when we make those trades. Man Bear, good morning all. Have a fantastic day. Same to you, my friend. Make it a great day. JDC, Wayne, side hustles. You got to love the side hustles. Speaking of Wayne, I feel like Scar on the NFL throne. Lions should be the king. This injustice shall be corrected. Hey, let's take over the throne. Let's win it all. JK, Brad don't care if each big trade happens and won't be a part of it, in your opinion. Yeah, probably a lot of truth to that. Trim Reaper, what up, Coach and Duke crew? What's up to you? And Trim Reaper, how you doing? Steve, nothing better than Lions Talk Live on Sunday morning. Hey, thanks for that. Thank you, Dan. You are appreciated. Anytime, my friend. I enjoy doing it. Hopefully, you guys enjoy being here. Silver, Coach, how about that golden wide receiver from Texas? He looked like the most impressive, not just speed-wise, but with a powerful physique. Runs powerful, too. Where is he projected? I'll have to check on that, Silver. I don't want to tell you something and end up being wrong. I just haven't paid that much attention to the projections yet. Get another week or so to we're past the combine. That's when I'll start firming up stuff. JDC, Puff, woo, coffee, and Lions Talk Live. That's a good start to your morning. Wayne, Skip Ben Johnson, you were a big dummy not taking that commander's job. Now rot in the cellar known as Chicago. Could be a whole lot of truth there. JK, mindset fully on draft. Yeah, 100% there, 100%. Susan, good morning. I bet Green Bay tries make a trade or two. I'm ready. I've readied the Vikings could as well. Maybe read the Vikings. Yeah, the Vikings could. I know they're rumored to make some trades. Same with Green Bay. Five fingers, Freddie. The Lions are going to stick to the draft. I just don't see Holmes ever flinching over what Washington or other teams do. It could be totally true, but I do think there'll be some dominoes that fall across the NFL because of this. Well, I guess we could Scooby-Doo it at another level. With all these trades, how much does that impact the draft? More and more teams, target their needs during trades. Hey, they're not going to draft those particular players in the first or second round then. And now, as far as halfback, that fellow that Amarian something from North Carolina, oh goodness, that is a dog. Highlights phenomenals. I believe he will be an even better pro than college player. Yeah, could be 100%. The Trim Reaper Red Wings got messed over. Cody Rhodes took that rock to go skip himself. I'll go with that. Dale, just hope the Packers don't get DK. That report was out there a couple days ago. Yes, it was. Please know. Thanks for all you do, Coach Dan. Hey, anytime, Dale. I enjoy this, and I know I've said it before. If we get DK Metcalf on the cheap and we don't feel like he's going to be a locker room, I guess, issue, then, hey, I think, man, putting him out there with Jameson and St. Brown, that would be a defensive nightmare or defensive coordinator's nightmare. Phil, good morning. Good to see you, Phil, this morning. Silver Server, does anybody know why Kenneth Grant did not run the 40? I do not. Maybe he's got a hamstring or something like that. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. Wayne, Skip Ben Johnson, you should have taken that commander's job. Yes, we got this one. Okay, Tori, let's be real. A late round pick for Debo is nothing. Brad needs to stop being so cheap. Exclamation point. Drives me nuts. I know some fans feel that way. I just don't ever see him not being cheap. Marcus, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, exclamation point. Lions need to stay the course and stick to their plan. Sam Fran, 5th round pick for Samuel, $21.7 million, 2005 salary, 25 salary. Yeah, and I think that's basically when the trade went down, that's part of the reason why it wasn't more for him is because you had to take on that cumbersome salary. So I think it pushed the asking price down. Virgil, good morning. Back at you. Remember, so I can't wait to see what Brad Holmes does in the free agency market this year. I have zero doubt it'll be a cap ease moves and could get solid players. He wants to make the 3rd and 4th string better than most teams' 2nd string. Yeah, 100%. And he's done a pretty good job with it. Brent Abdul Carter has a fractured foot. I think he's recovering from it. I don't think it's still fractured, but he's letting it fully heal. And let's also be fair. Some guys don't do stuff in the combine because they know if they're not fully healthy, that's going to push their stock down. You could look at Rakestraw last year is kind of suffering from that. He went out there and did a lot of stuff, but he still had, whatever it was, a hamstring injury or abdomen injury, something like that. I don't remember offhand. JK, yep, Ben just set himself up for failure in Illinois. Could be. Silver, hello, Lions fanatic. So, Dre Ebel laughing out loud. Brad Holmes won't ever be confused with a big spender. No, probably not. Wayne, good morning. I'm feeling snarky. Hey, let it all out, my friend. It's part of the channel. Trim Reaper, Stephanie Water, good thing the Lions keep getting gooder and gooder. Yes, they get better and better indeed, for sure. Phil, how do you keep your players fresh and motivated the whole by the week, coach? Rest them on Eric, them even harder. Just different ways. Every team responds differently to stuff. We went after it hard Friday in practice. They had yesterday and today off. Tomorrow, though, we'll go pretty hard at it, knowing that we don't play until Wednesday. Let's see, Voltron. If the Lions made additions with trades, I highly doubt it's a player most of us are considering. Yeah, probably true. Stephanie, laughing. JDC, here's an open invite to the Lions higher ups to come on in and shoot the breeze about the team with Lions Talk Live. Hey, come on over anytime, my friend. JK, big splash equals not able to afford or keep 1/3 of the roster. That might be also true. Art, let them smack us until his face turns blue. We are talking on the field, and we will give Ben Johnson the Bears what for. Okay. Lauren, good morning, all. Back at you. Jim, good morning, Duke Crew. There are great numbers on linemen available in the draft. I would like Graham, but don't believe we can get to the mid-teens. Yeah, you'd have to give up a bit to get up there, but who knows, man? Maybe if there's no one really asking and that particular team wants to move down, maybe you can pull it off. Dennis, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, back at you. Phil, coach, do you believe the Lions team will be ready to play, or will it take a few games to iron out some wrinkles? Man, in my opinion, Phil, that really comes down to what you do in the preseason. In my opinion, I would this year play the guys at least a quarter or so each of the preseason games just to try to help speed up some of the learning curve. The defense might have a bit of an advantage, but that's going to come down to how much Kelvin Shepard just kind of maintains what Aaron Glenn did. Or does he want to do all of his own new stuff? If it's a bunch of new stuff, you got more learning. Marcus, Debo is washed. Might be true. Pat, Duke Crew rules. 100%, my friend. Couldn't agree more. Burger time. Good morning, Lauren. Rock, Coach Rock. Good morning, all. Just saying we're that close to a championship, so trade the picks that hardly have a chance to make the team and get someone that's proven. Yeah, I'll go with that. Trim Reaper, don't forget to drop that like button. Oh, yeah. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons. Silver Server, Coach, I saw an interview with David Montgomery. When asked who was an unrecognized player, he thought he had the skills to have an impact on the field. He did not hesitate. He said, Jameer Jefferson. Yeah, Jefferson's played well here. A lot of the guys seem to speak highly of him, Silver. It's just the tough part is, like it is with any sport, if you have a lot of talent. If you put Jefferson on the field, are you taking Montgomery or Gibbs off the field? And that's, I think, just part of it is finding ways to get that talent on. Phil, Coach, how do you prepare your team with this bye week to play their best level? Hey, get after it every day. Do what you can to push them to achieve even more success. JDC, wash, rinse, repeat. I like the way you're thinking. Silver, he has it all, he said. Yes, he's got a lot of good stuff for sure. Hi, Yon Fishing. I thought we are sleeping in, Coach. Hey, I didn't sleep, and I slept into like 6 o'clock. Phil, Skipper will be a great coach after his playing career is over. Maybe. Could be true. Keith, Debo will be hurt before the fourth game. Now, that could be very true. Chad, good morning, Coach Dan and the awesome Duke Crew. Woo! Hit that like and subscribe. The best Lions Talk live. Woo! It's my daughter's birthday today. Aubrey is 13. Hey, you know what? It's her birthday. Let's give her a 1, 2, 3. And there you go, my friend. Happy birthday. Marcus, Philly got to try to re-sign their 3 free agents before they make a trade? Yeah, could be. They do have some free agents and some real key ones. Silver Server, he also said Justin Fields. Yes, Justin Fields was football savant. Hopefully somebody takes notes. Fields is a savant. Jefferson got it all. All right, we'll take that. We'll take Montgomery at his word. Hi, Jan Fishing. Happy birthday, Aubrey. Agreed. Gary, getting Garrett would balance the trade of Debo going to the Commanders and possibly DK Metcalf going to the Packers. We have to keep Garrett away from the Eagles. Yeah, let's see what they do. I would have no problem with him coming here. I just don't want to give up 2 first-round picks for him. Mr. Nico, let's see, Lions need to stay healthy. We were beat up and made it to the playoffs. Let's just stay healthy. At the end of the day, I get we're all disappointed the Lions lost to the Commanders. But you look at all the games they won the last, 2 months of the season, while just being shredded on the defensive side of the ball. The fact that we got to 15 wins, won the NFC North, got the number 1 seed, to me, I think that's pretty impressive. Let's see, Byron, heard Philly about to get after Miles, so they better put their chips in the table and make an offer to the Browns. I agree with that, man. I would really like to see him come here. Again, I just don't want to give up a gajillion picks for the guy, but having him on that D line of ours, man, it starts looking pretty dang legit. If Philly gets him, eesh, ay caramba. Let's see, Phil, please sub and hit that like. Yes, hit all the buttons if you would, please. And thank you for that, Phil. JDC, Phil, yep, as long as he doesn't coach woos. Yes, his woo needs some coaching. Let's see. Richard, audio. Okay, audio, I guess I don't understand. Let me know. Let's see. Good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Back at you. Chad, thanks, Ion Fishing. Appreciate that. Woo. JDC, Phil says JDC smiled. Silver Server, I believe Dan Skipper's day as the Lions are over. Yes, I think, especially with Manu, they are going to need that roster spot for a real lineman, perhaps young. All right. Richard, audio is good. Keito, I don't ever know. I don't ever know we could trade yet till yesterday when I seen Debo got traded. Yeah, I don't think officially you can, but it doesn't mean you can't agree to the terms, and then it can't become formalized until I forget the date, but you guys get it. Pierce, you can trade in principle, but not official. Yes, correct, for another week and change. Correct. All right, JDC, happy birthday, Aubrey. Yeah, woo, for Aubrey indeed. Chad, thanks, JDC. Phil, with Johnson out of the way, Goff will improve. No more cute plays, no more head games, no more throwing games. Hey, it could be all the games throughout the door. Michael, heard they might cut Khalif Raymond. Man, I wonder if that could happen. They did just resign him last year, but anything's possible for sure. Keith Pierce, yeah, I thought it was a couple weeks ago. Oh, yeah, it's about that, about a week and a half, I want to say. JK, I'm paying close attention. What Eagles do, they are still Super Bowl champs. Would be wild if they get Garrett or not. Yes, it would be. Detroit D, greetings, salutations, everyone, and back at you. Vincent E, Raymond could be a surprise cut. Well, I hope not, man. I like the guy, but again, maybe they have a plan. Murder time. It won't be official to March 12th. New season officially begins. Keto, yeah, I knew we were coming up on it in about 10 days or so. Drew, good morning, Dan, the Duke crew. I just think this off-season draft / free agency is going to be fire. We can call it brand new Lions. There will be some brand new Lions on next year's team. Tuxedo not making a big-time deal might be the end of our Super Bowl chance. Go Lions. We'll find out. Verbal Kent, Debo is falling off. He was pretty beat up last year. Let's see. Pierce, does this trade set the market for Cooper Kupp? I would think it would. You look at this trade, and no disrespect for Cooper Kupp, I would say if Debo's a 5th, Cooper Kupp's probably a 7th, maybe a 6th. I don't know. Keith, Lions fanatic, thanks, brother. There you go. Chad, yes. Dre Forge, rocks and rolls. I agree with that, JDC. The JK window is turning into a mirror. All right. Berg time. My pleasure, Keith. Hope all is well. Michael, yep, we can't say cheap for sure. Yes, it'll be cheap. Phil, where is Don Burr? That I don't know. I haven't seen him in a little bit. Has anybody seen him? To be honest, I have not seen him in a minute. Berg time. I agree, Michael. Pierce, we got to make a couple of moves. We'll see what they do. JK, a car rear view mirror. There you go. Tug Speedman. If Brad doesn't think Garrett or Crosby isn't the final piece, then who is? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a very good question, Tug. Keith, the Lions fanatic, all is going well. Hope hope the same with you, brother. Michael, yep. JK, let's see. JDC, JK, Magic 8 Ball says, elderly Chinese prophet, Yuk Fook says, window like mirror, very fragile. I'll go with that. Vincent E, no more injury-prone players. We'll see what happens with Brad Holmes. Chad, yep, 100%. JK, JDC. Michael, exactly. No more Davenports. We might re-sign Davenport. Aaron, what do you got? They gonna sign Davenport back? Yeah, I've heard that too. Could it happen? Man, I don't know. But they did give Emmanuel Mosley 2 different contracts. Keith, anyone watched their wide receiver yesterday in Combine? Man, basically all of them got some burners out on them. Yes, they do. They can fly for sure. Michael, I trade for DK Metcalf. Okay. Pierce, any update on what Carlton Davis is looking for? I have not heard anything in about a week or so on CD3, but it does sound like he's very open to re-sign with Detroit. Chad, yeah, they need healthy players pass on these injury-prone guys. Okay. Vincent, like a tall wide receiver for consistent red zone threat. I think they're going to be after somebody this offseason for that. Keith, I'd bring back Davenport on bet minimum. Could be what they do. Berg time, please, no more. If players we went this route, didn't work. Correct. JK, Brad might resign DPJ, JDC, or in some certain circles, it's fragility. There you go. The Trim Reaper, did you know Robin Williams lives? He's playing the role of Javier. I did not know that. Keith, I like Shepard, wide receiver from Colorado. Yeah, I think a lot of people do, man. He's not too bad. Brett, Debo for a 5th rounder means Metcalf is worth. Man, that is a good question. I'd probably say, in my opinion, a 4th and a 7th. Chad, laughing, Trim Reaper. Michael, Aiden is going to be mad if he doesn't get good help, might not sign extension, honestly. We'll find out. Phil, a player we do not hear much about is Rodrigo. Is he going to be brought back or let go? I think he'll be back, but, been wrong before. Pierce, Brent, I'd say a 4th for Metcalf. Yeah, right around there. JDC, age of treachery, always true. JK, trinkets are found in the thrift store. That's true. Sometimes you can find that rare comic book everybody else missed that's worth a gajillion bucks. Michael, me too. Chad, good question, Phil. Very good question. Bird time. Rube doesn't get DK Metcalf. We need to sign CD3. No debate. Secondary didn't look the same after his injury. He played well last year. He did play well. Keith, Michael Hutch is resigning. Yeah, I would think so. I don't see any situation where they're letting him walk unless he's just lost it. Vincent E. Keitho, 6'3" with speed. I gotta like that. Michael hasn't yet. Burger time. I'd like Tim Patrick. I'd like to bring him back. I think they'll try to bring him back. Pierce, would Hutch leave money on the table, make a deal happen, and bring someone in? That's a fair question. Would he be willing to give up some of his cheddar in order to help spread the cheese over to another elite player? Quito, Vincent E., I like him a lot. Probably get him in a fourth or fifth round. Phil, if Hutch has setbacks or cannot perform up to standards, what do the Lions do? They're probably resign him, but probably the price tag goes down a little bit. Let's see, Coach Rock, Bo did like the Hank Sr. reference, laughing out loud. Been there a few times. Chad, bring back Pat indeed. JK, can Hutch stay healthy as far as I'm concerned? Oh, let's hope so. That would help us out exponentially. Thomas, I love Brad Holmes, but watch Philly make the moves. He won't because he's frugal approach. Yes, he does have a very frugal approach. Quito, Mungo's not yet, but it's going to be going to happen. My mom works with Hutch's dad at hospital. Okay, good inside information. Chad, love Hutch, but I have the same worries. Will he come back the same? We'll find out, man, but I think so. Vincent E., right there with you. If he's there in the fifth round, that's a steal. It would be a nice steal. Michael, who knows if I was him, I wouldn't. Phil, the magic ring appears, disappears, changes fingers, slips and slides. Truly a magic ring of destiny. It is indeed, my friend. One ring to rule them all. Michael, or give them a ultimatum. Maybe they will give them an ultimatum. Keith, Vincent E., a steal in the fifth. Yes. Thomas, Washington has more cap space, a better quarterback, and they are already reloading. Brad has to get aggressive. We'll see if he does. JK, Hutch went emotional when he was talking about defensive line help. I hope he gets help. Geez. All right. Keith, don't we have like $70 million in cap space? I want to say it's somewhere right around there for sure. Michael, yep. Chad, $58 million, not $70 million. Okay, Thomas. Michael, 74. Yeah, the reports are all over the place, isn't it? Rocky, worst part about Philly going after Garrett is they don't even need him. No, they don't. But you know what? Man, that line would be something. Pierce, Chad, is that with the extra $20 million in cap went up? We'll find out. Yes, we do. Michael, yes, we do. You don't at the $24 million. Okay, you don't at the $24 million. Chad, Vincent E., other teams upgrading forces Brad's hand to get more firepower. I would think it's going to force a few teams to consider it. Pierce, we had $58 million before the cap went up by $20 million. Correct with that. JK, reconstruct Goff's contract, and y'all have $100 million in cap space. If Goff's willing to do it, yes, you could free up some cap space with him or a couple other players too. JDC Magic 8 Ball says Lions defense wins the big one. Yes, it does, Chad. Then I doubt we have $78 million. Okay. Thomas, Howie Roseman is hands down the best GM. Brad is looking like for division championship. Howie goes after Super Bowls. He got some Super Bowls. He got a Super Bowl. How about that? Michael, that would be ideal. Restructure Goff, maybe. Burger time. Offense wins games. Defense wins championships. Typically true. Rocky, let's see. Coach Rock, where is Brad going to pull all these late round picks from? Good luck to them making the team. Yes, I know we've talked about that. You can't keep them all, so maybe you move up a little bit here and there. Chad, I don't see us winning with Goff. Okay. Doug's, Brad has a team in place now. It's time to add the final pieces. Add the final pieces. How about that? If he does nothing, what do you think of that? Everyone else is trying. They're trying, but it doesn't mean guaranteed success. I can remember, what was it? Early 2000s when the Washington Commanders had Deion Sanders, Bruce Smith, and 40 other Hall of Famers. And I don't even know if they made the playoffs. Michael, Bears have a ton of cap space too. This is true. Thomas, get ready for the Marcus Davenport resigning. Coming soon, I think. Michael, I'd be done with Brad. JDC, Rod Sterling says, picture this, Hutch with no crutches. Holy whoa, I'm down with that. JK, waiting for Brad Holmes to be aggressive and serious. All right. Vincent E., sometimes Dollar General doesn't have what you need. No, it doesn't at times. Chad is laughing. Keith, Tennessee wide receiver Dante Thornton. Gotta love him, man. He is a Thornton after all. I like him a lot as well. 6'5" and ran a 4.43. Thomas, Brad just came out and said he wasn't going after high price free agents. Yeah, I'd say that's his typical mantra for sure. More time. He better not re-sign Davenport. Guy sneezes, he gets hurt enough with the cap. We have a huge opportunity. Can't let this go by. No, all right, Coach Rock. 2 of those late first-round picks and maybe even a second rounder to get a player like Garrett would do it in a heartbeat. Don't need these late-round picks. Game changer. Yeah, he is a game changer, I would think, for probably about 3, maybe if you're lucky, 4 seasons. Benjamin, Lions organization should hire some detectives to spy on other organizations, as it appears they have no clue what is going on around them. Buffoonery edits and full display. All right, Michael, the Eagles make us look like Pee-wee team. Honestly, maybe. JK Dollar General got yes, he got him messed up. I'll go with that. Chad, for real, Thomas, I'm willing to bet Davenport that he resigns. I'm willing to bet anyone that he resigns Davenport on a 1-year prove-it deal. Probably true. William, I know Smith opposite will make a big difference when Hutchinson gets back, but man, if we add Max, Trey, or Miles, that would put our defense over the top. I would agree with that if you could pull off another big move like that. Michael, same. Detroit D, if we cannot make a move this year, it would just be a playoff team. Yeah, maybe. Keith, I was not sure about James Pierce Jr., but after watching him some highlights and combine, he's nice. Yes, he is nice. I like him a lot. I just think he's going to be top 12 pick, maybe top 10. Detroit D, I want a Super Bowl win. I think we all want it, my friend, 100%. Michael, Z Smith is a rotational piece. Probably at this point in his career, you don't want to give him overly burdened snaps. So I would agree. If you can rotate him more and more frequently, probably just keep him playing at a higher and higher level. Greg King, Man State Duke Crew, keep building through the draft and develop. I like the way you're thinking. Thomas, it doesn't matter if Jaden Daniels is going to be a handful. We missed our window, and I am not sold on Kelvin Shepard. All right. Chad, draft a defensive end pass rusher. I think they will. I think that will be a priority this offseason. Michael, need a more impact player. I would agree. Phil, Lions won't add any vet runs until after the teams are playing. Vets come available during the season. Okay. Keith, same old Lions fan in the house. Hey, you got to have somebody in the house, right? Big D, morning Duke, morning crew. What's crack-a-lacking? Not too much, man. Just talking about the Lions. Robert, reading Sanitations, back at you. William, I hate to trade away all of our picks, but no way can we let Green Bay or Philadelphia get Miles if Trey or Max are staying put. We'll find out. Trim Reaper, time to swing for the fences. Woo! I like the way you're thinking. Egan, not even an Eagles O-line could handle Hutch and Garrett. No, I think a lot of teams would have problems with it. Ronnie, at some point, bargain shopping doesn't pay off. It's time to spend on some bling. Brad needs to start spending on the bling. Let's get him to do just that. Leonard, Coach Landry, and Trey Hendrickson, and 2 or 3 draft picks in the trenches. Yeah, I'll go with that. 100%, Leonard. JK, read an article about this one guy predicting Super Bowl wins. Had Lions versus Bills Super Bowl 2027. So 3 more years of no Super Bowl wins. I'm tired. Yeah, let's hope we get the win this year, though. Burn time. In reality, we blew a huge opportunity in San Francisco. Correct. We kind of did. I'm still not over that. We will see how hard it is to get there. We need to go all in. Whatever it takes. Other teams are catching up to us. Can't stand. All right. JK. Let's see. JDC. Hutch and Z Factor at the same time. Let that sink in. Okay. Still. JK. 2. Michael Landry and draft another defensive end as well. Probably. Keith. Leonard. I like Landry. I think a lot of us do. Thomas. Landry is not the answer. Landry has fell off. All right. Vince, can't wait to see Smith and Hutch on the field at the same time. Fire? Yes. Or sweat, Michael. Vernon, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Brad Holmes needs to cook first, then trade for a big-time player. All right. And let him cook. Keitho, yeah, we haven't seen Hutch and Smith play together. Some fans really need to chill. Phil, if Brad Holmes stock's falling with the team, we'll find out. Is MCDC stock falling? Hard to say in the offseason because, you know what, you're not winning, you're not doing anything in the offseason. We can all have our opinions, but if next year they come out and do nothing but win, I guess they did the right stuff. JDC, tick, 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 woo, time. Yes, it is. Michael, Sheila also said she will not spare no expense. You know, I think she's got the playbook open and the paybook open. Keith, I hope we try Wingo out at edge. I think he's going to ball out. Could be they have belief in that. Phil, so Jen is burnt toast, coach? No, she likes toast, though. JK, I'll set my patience up. There you go. Sarge, reading Sanitations all, exclamation point. A Super Bowl win is expensive. Will the Ford family spend the money? I think they will. At least Sheila will. How about that? Thomas, Brad needs to spend more speed at linebacker, not sold on Taryn at cornerback. Let that sink in. How he drafts Mitchell and Dijon. We all draft Arnold Rakestraw. The one thing I'd say to that, Thomas, though, is how much is Mitchell and Dijon aided by that front? Now, would Arnold look that good or Rakestraw if we swap corners with that defensive front? You know, that's just my opinion. I think plus you look at some schematic changes. If you're getting pressure with just your front 4, you got 7 guys in coverage. you probably have a better opportunity to make plays on the ball. Lions asked everybody, especially Arnold, to play all straight man-to-man, or at least the majority of the time. There's a higher risk of failure there. Do you think if we don't get Miles that there could be a possibility to go after Max Crosby? Is there a possibility? Sure. Do I think it's going to happen? And if you don't go for Myles Garrett, you're probably not going for Max Crosby either, would be my thinking at least. JDC, at this current time, I am toast. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Guido, please, God, no, not Garrett and Philly. We'll find out. Philly has the best GM in the league. Could be true. Michael, Philly is losing lots of players, so they will have the cap. All right. Vernon, coach, Sheila Ham said that she support Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, but she will say yes or no to whoever comes or goes. Okay. All right. We'll go with that. Keitho, something going to happen. All the draft picks ain't making the team. I would agree with that. Yeah, it's going to be hard to keep them all. Trade ain't got to be willing to pay the taxes. Agreed. Thomas, trust me, Philly will get Garrett. I'll trust you. Garrett does not care about an extension either. I'll go with that, Michael. Phil, I take over the throne every morning for about 10 minutes. You take over the throne for about 10 minutes, okay, after coffee. Rocky, Goff needs to take a pay cut if he wants to get players to get to that Super Bowl ring. Just thinking he's doing okay money-wise. So give the Lions a Tom Brady break. Yeah, I wonder if he will cut some money off his contract to help out. Jason, we still need to remain the most complete team in the NFC. I would agree. We need to. We need to indeed. Bird time. Love Lions Talk Live. Always look forward to the weekend so I can watch. Thank you, Dan. Anytime, my friend. Glad to put on the show. All right, guys, I'm going to power through here since we've got about 4 minutes left and I'm about 30 minutes behind. Try to find people who haven't been on the air as much. Half the roster says JK. Keitho, if you wanted to get a massive trade, trade up in the draft, we might. John, if no Metcalf is a cancer, yeah, that would be one of my questions about him. Marion, let's see, Kenneth Grant hurt his hamstring. Okay, thanks for that. That's why he didn't run. John, McNeil is probably going to miss first half of the season. Yeah, he's going to miss a little bit for sure. Benjamin, in 6 years, we'll still have draft capital and cash, but no Super Bowl. Let's hope not, my friend. All right, Art, I don't think Brad Holmes is a keep up with the Jones type of manager. He will stick to his own way, and it will work for us. I'll go with that. Yeah, he's going to build to the draft probably. Let's see, TM, Will. Okay, well, Will too. Hopefully, you're doing well too. Keitho, Graham is going top 10. Probably true. Yeah, I think he's going to be right around there. Slow out of the gate. Yeah, it happens, man. It happens. That real. Let's see. Good morning, everyone. Back at you. Thomas, he better not re-sign Barnes or Levi. I could see Levi. I'm not so sure on Barnes. See, TM, Egg McMuffin Day. Enjoy. Hey, enjoy your Egg McMuffin. Berg time. I like Jefferson. He plays tough each down. He does, man. Happy birthday, Aubrey. Yeah, everybody wish Aubrey a happy birthday. Thomas Debo is injury prone. Yes, he has. He has been a little bit. Lawrence, sorry, I was listening to the show and working on other things on my computer. No worries, man. It happens, man. Mark, morning, Dan, the Duke Crew. Go Lions. Back at you, Mark. Hopefully it's a phenomenal start to your day. Let's see, Thomas, don't worry when you need Jared to come through. Again, he will crumble. Let's hope not. TM, bet Debo plays better in Washington. Could be, man. It could be more of his offensive system. Trim Reaper, happy birthday, Aubrey. Woo! Oh, yeah. Let's see, Leonard. Landry is a rotational piece with fresh legs. I'll go with that. Looking for some more people who haven't been on here so much. Breezy, I don't think we have a choice, coach. We might have to give up a few picks so we don't get buried in the NFC. It could be an arms race. Let's see how the Lions and Brad Holmes respond to this, but it is starting to build up here. Mr. Ed, good morning, Duke Crew. How do we know that Garrett or Hutch isn't in this draft? There is, the next Garrett or Hutch in the draft. We don't know. You can always hit a home run. It's just, I think a lot of people want a proven player. John Doe, don't forget to turn your clocks back an hour, daylight savings time. I'll check that out. John, the way the Lions practice and playing signing injury-prone players is foolish. I know some of us don't enjoy it. Keith, Don Burr, yeah, does anybody know what's up with Don Burr? Okay, all right. Saw him on another channel a week ago. Okay, thanks for that, Berg time. Dr. Troy, looking forward to another injured free agency class and move up in the draft for a project defense lineman. Exciting. Hey, gotta love it. DM, where's daylight savings times? When's daylight savings time? That I don't know off the top of my noggin. Thomas, Detroit, same. John Doe, we need Marshawn Lattimore. Let's see if we can get him. Vincent E. TM, I believe in the ninth. Okay, the ninth. Okay, yeah, coming right up. Keitho, run the like button up. Yes, if you can, hit that like and subscribe button. JDC is doing just that. Vincent E, I agree with that. Keitho, I agree with what you're agreeing with. Thomas, Landry stinks. Why would everyone on that train? I don't, wait, everybody has their own thoughts. JDC, welcome to the chat. TM Martin, yeah, there we go. Let's see, Keitho. Decker falling off in my eyes. Hopes he restructures. Yeah, it could be. I do wonder, though, Keitho, how much of his fall off at times maybe correlated with having to help cover for Graham Glasgow. I don't know. Anyway, that's just a thought. All right, Keitho, Vincent E, 100% he did. Vincent E, Decker did have a rough year. Yeah, not his best year. Times he looked good, other times not so much. Salas, everybody already ready, swinging for the fence. Brad got to get a proven player. Yes, we need a defensive end. We can use another receiver. Washington could have stayed the same, yet they're making power moves, pressure. Yes, they are. They're making some moves, and I think you'll see more out of Washington. Tugs, I see 250 people watching on YouTube and only 114 likes. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Southwest, pressure is on Brad. Could be true. TM, Brady said he lost Stafford. Okay. JDC, Keitho, yep, but only half as much as my eye. All right. Coach Rock, problem with Brad is he likes to keep $30 million in cap space around for some reason. You never know. He could use it for something. Vincent E, under pressure. Hey, good song there. Keitho, JDC laughing. Victor, excuse me. The Detroit Lions have spent $44.1 million in effective cap space for the 2025 season, according to Over the Cap. Thank you for that. The real K77. If Brad Holmes re-signs Davenport, I'm going to lose my stuff. All right. Well, hopefully we don't do that then. Andrew, Goff's style of play is outdated. I want a quarterback that can put the team on his back and win on his feet if he has to. Everything around Goff has to be perfect in order for him to maybe work out. I get what you're saying there. Unfortunately, with that contract, I don't see him leaving this season or maybe the season after that. Thomas, Brad drafted Giovanni Manu and Broderick Martin, and for 3 years down the line, Martin was traded up for it and had done nothing. Yeah, Broderick Martin, this really is a do-or-die season for him. Giovanni Manu, I think he's going to work out. Martin, I think, is the question mark. Good luck, Ben Johnson, says TM. Guido, would the Browns trade Garrett to the Eagles is the question. I think so. I think it's a possibility. Victor, 51.5 cap space on Over the Cap now. All right. JDC, I don't see any wrenches, so the real K77 coach won't speak profanity. Yeah, don't do that. I don't do profanity. Maybe when I'm coaching, but not when I'm on the show. TM, Keitho, yep. Kim, how do believe so many want to spend for one player that takes away from our players? If Brad Holmes worked like many of these comments, Lions would not be anywhere they are. Injuries. I'll go with that. The real K77, gotcha, JDC. Audrey, we can't go again without a legit and opposite Hutch. Last year's draft, we needed cornerback and edge, but decided to double dip on cornerback and draft Sian Vaki when he have Gibbs, Monty, and Reynolds. We did. You're not wrong there. Thomas, Lions last year's draft class ranked bottom 5. Yeah, it's okay, though, because most of those guys haven't played, so it's hard to rate them yet. Happy birthday, says TM. Here's Johnny. Glad Lions got 2 NFC North championships. Hey, I'll take it versus what we used to get. The real K77, thanks, JDC. Burger time. Have a great week, everyone. Good luck in your game, coach. One pride, go Lions. See everyone Saturday. Woo! And yeah, have a great week, my friend. Yeah, have a real phenomenal one. Impressively, I'll go with that. One and done, unimpressive. I concur. Let's see, Robert. I'm in 23. I'm overachiever in 24. We underachieved in 25. If you don't make it or win Brad's job, will be a hot seat in 26. Could be true. Yeah, he's going to have to produce. JDC, happy trails. Go Lions victory. Back at you. Jafil, happy days, Duke Crew. Go enjoy your day. TM, get rid of Hendon Hooker. Maybe they will. Ed, happy trails, Duke Crew. We'll see you next time, my friend, Mr. Ed. Thomas drafted Hooker in the 3rd round and passed on 2 players that are impact players on defense. I'll go with that. Let's see. Thomas, TM, Martin, yes. Poor Rich Goff. I concur. Earl, good morning, Dan and crew. Back at you. Rick C., Mac and Kenneth Grant would be nice additions. I would take them both for sure. Andrew, we better get on the re-signing Hutch before the other edges get signed first, and then other price tags just go up. Got to get deals done for Hutch, Kirby, and J-Mo. I agree with all that. Get them done sooner versus later. Brent, happy trails. One pride worldwide. See you soon, my friend, Brent. Thomas Rick C, yes. Bo, happy trails, Duke Crew. All done and dusted for another weekend. See you tomorrow. We'll see you then, my friend. Bird time. That's next week, March 9th. TM, it's Forgiveness Sunday. Yes, it is indeed. Brian, good morning, everyone. Same to you. Brian, let's go blue and green today. Coach Rock, tough to get Max from the Raiders with the coach they have now. I agree with that. Brian, Eagles may be unstoppable on defense with Garrett. They would be tough for sure. Gun guy, stupid Lions fans don't know a good quarterback when they have it. Goff is better than Lamar. Stats don't lie. Okay. Brian, let's go Goff. Yeah, 100%. If he's our quarterback, I'm going to cheer him on. Gun guy, Lamar has a top 10 defense his whole career. Laughing out loud, Goff had been into a Super Bowl. Lamar, none. All right. Will Tush Push hold? I think they're getting rid of it myself. Trim River, have a great day, Coach of Duke Crew. Woo! Go get him, Coach. We're gonna make a run for it this week. See what we can do. JDC, I say no. Gun guy, Goff is the only active quarterback to take 2 teams to the NFC Championships. That's elite. That does get forgotten sometimes. Stack Dean, what up, Duke Crew? Thanks for the content, Coach. Lions could move up twice in the first round for what it would spend on Garrett. I'll be happy whatever Holmes does decide. I'll go with that. JDC, Magic 8 Ball says no too. Time's up. Go Holmes. All right, we're out of here. If there is breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you guys as quick as possible. Otherwise, if you could be so kind before checking out, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit all the buttons. Hit the buttons for the buttons. Take care. Be a good human being. Do something nice for someone you don't know. And we'll see you guys all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody. You're still here? What are you doing here? It's over. The show's over. Go home.